Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mahmud Suta Prastio. I am here to explain the location of the intravenous injection. The preferred site for cannulation: one hand dorsal arch veins. Dorsal arch veins are best seen on the back of the hand, but are usually large and easier to see and palpate over the back of the wrist. Skin entry should be more distantly. If eastered here are easily splintered and any infiltration easily spotted. So these veins are the preferred site. The feeder veins over the dorsum of the hand in the first interface need to be treated with respect, as it possible and cannot let an artery here, risking loss of a thumb or part thereof, principal artery. This is present in about 10% of infants. In person, it is usually the called supply to thumb. Cephalic vein in anatomical handbook. The cephalic vein is often quite large and can often be felt better than it can be seen. It is one of the veins to try if you must cannulate blind in large baby. Cannulate in this position then to quite well, making this a good secondary site. It can also be used for insertion of percutaneous central venous catheter. Number 2. Wrist volar aspect. Veins are easily seen on the volar side of the wrist. They are usually quite small and fragile and with easily cannulate do not last well. They are usually secondary sites, but must be careful with that when noxious substance, ectopamine, vancomycin are infused, as they are prone to burn. Number 3. Subital. Median and the subital, cephalic and basilic veins are easy to hit and tend to last quite well if splintered properly. These veins are the preferred site for insertion of percutaneous central venous catheter. This will be avoided unless absolutely necessary in any infant likely to need long-term IV therapy. The median nerve and brachial artery are both in some anatomical vicinity and therefore vulnerable to damage. Foot dorsal arch veins are small but easily cannulate and lay surprisingly well. The vein on the lateral aspect running below malleolus is easy to access but must be splintered careful and watched for infiltration. Veins leading up to short subscius are often good option. Subscius vein ankle. The subscius vein runs reliably just anterior to medial malleus and is large and straight. It is easy to access and less well, although it's not always readily visualized. These veins are also good sites for insertion of percutaneous central venous catheter and should again be avoided in an infant likely to need long-term IV access. Number 5. Leg synapses vein at the knee. The Sepnius vein runs just behind the medial aspect of the knee and is often visible behind the knee and as it curves around the top of the tibia. Access is easy and less well if properly splinted. However, this vein is a good fit for the insertion of percutaneous central venous catheter and should be avoided if possible in any infant likely to need long-term IV access. Number 6. Scalp. Scalp veins should only be used once other alternatives are exhausted, mostly at least partial shaving of the head is required. It might take 6 to 12 months for hair to grow back properly, which may cause significant parental distress.